wrong in here. I've gone on that AFTV line. I've said a few things on there that I probably shouldn't have said. There's any way of deleting it and all that. You can't get rid of it. It's out there now forever. Oh no, he's gone. What is it? It's going viral. What does that mean? Like, I ain't got a clue. What you want about? In the end, it got 5 million views overall. Wow. And that day changed my footballing life. You're not a flip-flop. You're not a fan. I hated expressions. Because he's one of the nicest guys. I never watch it, like, you know what I mean? I never watch it, like, you know. I tell you why I don't watch it, because that Troopz is this, or DT's that.
Yeah, music. They know everyone, though.
So, well, how comes you know everybody's name? With Claude, for me, I don't think it's going to really hit me until I go back to the grounds and games. There's a persona about him and a character thing. He's not like that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem it. Yeah.
You know, he's a pussycat, you know what I mean? Like, I've got a nephew called Kane. Can you believe that? Like, you know what I mean?
Really?
Oh.
Right, welcome back everyone to Moledina Talks. Today is such an exciting episode. We have got lead judges from AFTV. You looking forward to it, Zahra?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really interesting podcast today.
Yeah, I know. It's been someone I've been watching for probably 4 or 5 years now, so it'd be incredible to actually sit down and speak to him. Online, obviously, can't do that face to face yet, but it'd be great. Can't wait for you all to see the episode.
If you want to see more guests like Lee, make sure you like, comment and subscribe.
All right, so Lee's waiting for us, so let's jump straight into this episode, and I hope you all enjoy it.
Welcome back to Moledina Talks, everyone. Today we've got the great lead judges on, someone I'm a big fan of, been watching for a while now, so I'm really excited about this episode. Yeah, so Lee, how have you been?
Yeah, all good, thanks. They're great. I like that. Quite like that. Yeah, so thanks for that. So looking forward to it. No worries.
Brilliant. Zahra, how you been?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks. Thanks, Lee, for coming on today. Okay. Yeah, I'm really excited as well. So I just thought we'd start off with, for people who don't know anything about you or who you are, would you be able to introduce yourself?
Yeah, like lead judges. I do. Well, what do I do now? I suppose AFTV. I think most people have heard of AFTV now, if I'll be honest. You know, yeah. It's gone massive. So I do all that sort of stuff, all generally football stuff now, and it's really taken off where it's starting to take over my life now. If you know where my business has not been great because of the pandemic and everything, but I'm having to have days off here and days off there. So it's it's been pretty over the last year. It's been pretty exciting times, really. So that's what I suppose I'm known for now, more so that doing the AFTV stuff and things like that.
Yeah, and you just finished covering the Euros with Robbie's channel, haven't you? So how did you find that whole experience?
Really enjoyed that, because the best thing about that was not knocking the guys from Arsenal, because they're all great, but it was just meeting different people and doing different things, and the Euros was really good, and obviously England doing well was great as well.
Yeah,
and it I don't know about you guys, but when I first started talking about doing these watch-alongs, this was about year and a half ago now. I said, well, no one's going to want to watch them. You know what I mean? What's the point of doing that? I didn't really see where it had gone, and to be honest, all the guys that run it and all that, it's just gone massive. It's just been an effort. It just exploded beyond anybody's sort of imagination, I think, really. So. And that's what's done it with the Euros now. That was massive. That was a massive response to that. So I'm pretty sure these watch-alongs are going to be here to stay. During the World Cup, obviously, when everybody is not going to find it very hard to get to. So I can imagine the watch-alongs are going to be quite big there as well. So it's been exciting times, really, from that point of view.
Yeah, no, it was great because you had literally all the fans there. So usually when I'm watching a big match at the watch-alongs, I go through all the different YouTubers. So I want to see Robbie's reaction, then expressions, and then you sometimes as well. So it's great. You can see everyone. It feels like you're watching a match with all of you.
100%. I'll tell you what. When I was doing the Arsenal ones, I never actually missed an Arsenal watch-along. So I've done them all. So you didn't see it, but some of these watch-alongs I haven't been involved with. So you'd be watching the game, you just can't help but go like saying happened. Oh, I have to have not be watching it all the time, or just flicking in to see what's going on, and you know, the reaction of fans and all that, like, or just jumping in and out of it. And I find it quite, you know, a few of my mates have actually, you know, spoke to me and said, "Oh, it's addictive. You can't help but watch it." Like, do you know what I mean? It's just really weird, but that's how it is, I suppose. So, you know, whoever thought of it, you know, good on them.
Yeah, I don't know anyone that listens to the commentary anymore. It's just all YouTube in the background.
Yeah, like the commentary's not there no more. Like, do you know what I mean? I haven't listened to a commentary game, obviously, like, because like when you're in the studio, you're not allowed to have the sound on or anything like that. So I've not listened to a commentary for football for a long while, like, you know what I mean? So, you know, it's a dying breed. It's a dying breed.
Yeah. Did Expressions enjoy his PS5?
Well, I'm sure he has done, like, you know what I mean? Of all the people to win it, like, you know, fancy drawing out yourself and winning it. You know, I feel good about doing that, I think, really. But
who did you get in the sweepstake?
I had Czech Republic. They'd done all right.
Yeah, okay.
You know, when you pull that team out, there was no way you was going to win it. I pulled out Czech Republic, and in a sweepstake I do with everybody, I pulled out Belgium, so I was quite pleased.
Oh, okay.
They both went out on the same day, so it worked out. So there you go. So you know, I don't think Italy would have been favourites at the beginning of the tournament, but I think, you know, worthy in the end. So
yeah, I know, it's kind of a win-win situation for Expressions in the final. Then, like, either way, he got something out of it.
If you go back and look at it, it doesn't seem as disappointed that England lost that game as he may well should have been. Like, do you know what I mean? I think he quite enjoyed, you know, got back in his car on the quiet and was quite pleased that Italy won it. I don't know, but like, it does seem that he didn't seem too disappointed. He kept looking at that.
Oh, okay.
Kept looking at it, like, you know. So there you go.
Yeah, no, not a bad, like, commiserations from losing the final though. Yeah, so I want to start like at the beginning of your journey with AFTV, getting into like the YouTube fan content. So how did it all come about?
Well, obviously I've been going to games quite obviously, like, and I've seen it about and everything like that, and started watching it like a lot of people did at the time, and didn't think really nothing of it. And then we played Swansea, we'd lost. It was a bad game. I lost it with Arsenal about 4 days before, when we was at Old Trafford, and we do you remember? I don't know if you remember when Marcus Rashford scored his first goals. He could just come on.
Yeah, I'm a United fan, so.
Yeah, you're a United fan, so you'd know.
Yeah.
Right? So, well, that game there, I was up in football in a hotel, you know, run by Gary Neville and that, and they had Viv Anderson was doing some sort of talk, and there was my mate got us some tickets to go. And he just said, just go in here, pretend you're Man United, get a few free beers and things like that. And so we went the whole, so it was going like, you know, what do you reckon the score is going to be? There was say 10, 15 people in there. Everyone, the best that they said was that when they looked at the teams that, you know, Man United would get a draw. You know, I just parked up. So I think Arsenal might win this one. It didn't matter. But they had a weak side out that day, and we ended up losing 3-2. Now, you know, knowing Manchester and coming out, getting out of Manchester on a match day is like
it's terrible.
It's terrible. Like, you know, it's an hour and a half before you even got out of Manchester. So you can imagine it, and we're listening. So I was wild and things like that. And just another thing on that day is that, you know, the players just walked straight off the park that day. It was about 4 that come up. So I was really frustrated and everything. So we go to Swansea on I think the Wednesday, and you know, obviously we lose again, and I was a bit frustrated. And just coming out, I just there it was. They was all, you know, doing their filming. I just said something, and someone just said, "Well, why don't you go on there and say that?" Like, and so I went, "Yeah, all right, then I will." Like, thinking nothing of it. So I did. Said what I had to say, and that was it. You know, I was on no social media, didn't know nothing and all that. Like, so it's me and my mate. And then I gets on the train, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't know if I should have said that, you know. You know, I wonder if I can get rid of it. What can I do? So I phones up my mate Tony, who's like got Instagram, Twitter, and knows a little bit about all this sort of stuff. And I said to him, look, I've told you, I think I've done it wrong in there. I've gone on that AFTV, like, you know. And you done what? I said, yeah. And I've said a few things on there that I probably shouldn't have said. And there's any way of deleting it and all that, or getting rid of it. He says, you can't get rid of it. It's out there now forever, like, you know. I mean, what, you know?
Yeah.
He goes, leave it with me. Let me see what I can be done. So I said, all right, then, like, you know, I'm thinking that. So he rings me back. He goes, oh no, he's gone, what if it's going viral? What does that mean? Like, I ain't got a clue. What you want about? He's gone, like, get rid of it, shut it down. What can I do? He said, I can't do nothing. It's exploding. It's going mad. So I thought, oh no, well, what can I do? So I'm thinking, like, oh, you know, because I've got big contract with Tesco's and things like that. I think, oh, I'm ruin all of this. I don't know, you know, I swore on it and all that. Like, I'm starting to panic. So I go to bed like 3 o'clock in the morning, my phone's ringing. I thought, what the hell? You know what I mean? It's Tony on the phone, like, you know what I mean? So I've gone, you all right? He's gone, oh my God, it's going absolutely wild. This is going mad. He said, I can't believe what's happening. Well, I don't know. I can't look at it. I don't know what it is. I ain't got anything to look for. He's going, he's going mad. So I said, oh, what can I do? What can I do? He says, nothing. He's just going to have to ride it, see how it goes, you know. So I'm riding it. So when I've been playing local football and done pretty well in local football, a guy called Alistair, who now actually works for Spurs, was the local reporter and all that. So he phones me up and he says, Lee, how you doing? You're all right? So Alistair Gold is his name. So I said, yeah, Alistair, you're all right. So he says, any chance of an interview? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, really?
He's gone wild about all this, like, you know what I mean? So can we do an interview and all that? So I've done that was on the Thursday morning. So I've done an interview there. So Friday morning, the local paper comes out. It's all spread out on the local paper about, you know, like, well, I didn't know this time there was Gary Lineker and there's more than a big argument about it and all that. And it's like, mate, you know, it's just gone mad. So of course, like, you know, I've gone to work on the Friday and people are coming up to me and, you know, I didn't really know what to expect. So I thought, well, it'll die down in a couple of days and that'll be it and I can go back to normal life, you know. So funny enough, we play Spurs on the Saturday.
Okay, big game.
Yeah, big game, morning kickoff, so 12:30, so away from home game to the game. And I'm in the game, like, you know, getting to the ground and all that, like, and my phone is just going wild. And like, and I think, what the, you know, like, what's going on here? Like, do you know what I mean? Can't think nothing of it. So I don't know what's going on, but like, there's been a big thing on BT Sport. Ian Wright's been on there saying, oh, you want to see Piers Morgan, want to see this for, you know, Rio Ferdinand and Eric. So it's all going on. So you can imagine what I'm going like, get that video, get someone to record it so I can see what's going on. I don't know what's going on, like, you know. So it's just gone really, really mad. So I've done another interview and then like I started doing a couple of regular ones like that and then it went from there. And then like, so someone said, well, I weren't on social media. I was on Facebook and everything like that. And it was the greatest thing about it. Do you know, like, say Arsenal had a bad result or something like that, I put on Facebook, oh, Mesut Ozil was rubbish today. No comments. No comments. You know what I mean? So you know, that was the thing. So then I put it on something like that. Loads of people like commenting and all that, like, you know. So they said, oh, you have to go on Twitter. Do you know, like, so I put up on Twitter, and the rest has gone from there. Really, it's just gone really, really mad from there. And not only that, AFTV itself has grown massively from when actually I done it to what it is now. You know, it's unbelievable. Like, you know, I kid you not, like, and I'm not being big-headed on all that. Like, I go out now, get recognised wherever I go. If I go to shops,
I can imagine,
you know, like, I guarantee. Sometimes, do you know, when you're having a bad day or something, you've got to, you know. You think, oh, I've just got to get in and out and something, and there's always someone like, wherever you go now. I went running the other day just for, you know, a jog, and people are bibbing on their cars, and you think, oh, can't I do anything without anybody, like, you know? And it's just gone absolutely crazy, and it has. Wherever I go, from abroad, cricket, anywhere now, you just get recognised. You know what I mean? Like stations, you know what I mean? Like wherever, you know, like I was, you know, going up to the Euros. and you get on the train and you sit there, and within, I'm lying, within about 5 minutes, someone will come up and say, "Oh, sorry to disturb you, favour," and all that, like, do you know what I mean? Blah, blah. It's just, you know, and that's not just because of me. It's just the whole of the AFTV has just got so much bigger. It's unreal, like, you know.
You've become famous.
Yeah, in a way you have. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's crazy. You know, like the greatest gift that two greatest gifts that you can get from it is, like, I've met players from when I used to really follow, you know, like going back in the day when you really looked up to, that you could meet now. Some of them become really good friends. You know what I mean? That's the great thing. And the other thing is, you know, like for me, I still love my football and everything like that. And people now ask me, you know, if I can play charity games of football and all that.
Oh, that's great, yeah.
And that's fantastic. And you go into the first time I went into the dressing room, think, well, no one's going to recognise me, you know. Do you know what I mean? And you'd be, oh, Lee, think, oh, we're a big fan of yours, and like that. It's just, so you can give back a little bit as well, which is great, like, you know. So
yeah, just from being a fan, you got your own sort of fan base going out there now, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And people do come up to you and you know, you know, and that took a little bit of time to get used to. Do you know when you like, you know, I'm used to it now, but like when it first came out, you was a bit embarrassed to buy it.
Overwhelming, yeah.
And then you get the worrying thing is people, and I've had it before when people turn around and go, "Oh, look at him, he thinks he's something because someone wants a photograph of him and all that." Like, do you know what I mean? But then you have to look on the other side. If I turn around and say, "Oh, no photos," people are going to turn around and go, look at him, who's he think he is?" You know that. So you can't really win. You know what I mean? So you have to, what's the word looking for? Get a thicker skin, sort of thing. You got to like let things go over a lot more.
Yeah.
And you have to change your perspective, which I feel that I have done over the last few years. You know what I mean? So, but it's just, you know, like I think for me personally, it's been a gradual thing where it's gone, like, you know. So I'd imagine if someone was like not famous and then bosh, you know, they do something and it must, you know, and it blows up within a day, how their lives change and all that. It's been, luckily for me, it's been a gradual thing.
Yeah, how many views did that first one get? Because I remember that one, like, incredibly viral. It was like in the millions, wasn't it?
I think someone told me in the end it got 5 million views overall.
Wow.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Which was incredible at the time. You know, that's all over all different platforms and whatever. And what the one thing about that was that, you know, you just, which people have obviously feedback on, that is that a lot of other fans could relate to what I was saying as well. It weren't just about Arsenal. I mentioned saying about ticket pricing and all that, and people could relate to it. I look back on it and I think, oh, was I really like that or whatever? And I've always said this, is that, you know, I'm not saying that I was lucky. It was just that I'd done it at the time. I weren't looking to do anything to get anything out of it or anything like. And that is one thing that I do now. Everything that I get from it is a bonus. You know what I mean? I don't look at it and think, oh, I've got this and got that. Oh, someone's doing better than me. Someone's doing this and whatever.
Yeah.
Because basically, it was to actually do that interview, or the first one, was nothing to get this, to get that, to get anything. It was just what I'd done at the time, you know. And looking back on it, it could have gone either way, I suppose. But for me, personally, it went well, and I've never looked back on it. And that day changed my footballing life as a fan, if you know what I mean. Because it's completely changed now because of it, like, you know.
Yeah, no, it has.
Sounds really interesting. What I'm most interested in it about is we know that your brother is a Spurs fan, and I'm wondering why did you choose Arsenal? What made you an Arsenal fan?
Well, the thing is, see, like my family is my mum's side are all Spurs and my dad's side are all Arsenal. So,
okay.
So it was a real mixed bag, and that's why there's a lot of what can I say with the Spurs thing? It's not hate, but you get a lot of stick. Like, do you know what I mean? So imagine a kid growing up with Arsenal, you know, like around about the time when we was growing up, Arsenal would play around Christmas. So like, it could be on a Boxing Day. There were times it was on a Boxing Day. They changed that, but then it would be just before Christmas or just after Christmas. Well, all our family used to get together around about Christmas. So you can imagine it was like there was always that little bit of banter if Arsenal had won or lost, you know what I mean? And that, like, my dad was very, very, very passionate Arsenal fan, really bad. But all my uncles and that were all very much Tottenham, you know. Back in the day when you could go, like, it would be like my so like me and my brother were only young, and like my granddad would say, like, we're going to Tottenham today, we'd go, you know what I mean? And I'd go and watch Spurs game with my brother, my uncles and all that, and then the following week it'd be the Arsenal.
Okay.
And we'd go and watch the Arsenal. Now I love my granddad, you know what I mean? Like my nan and granddad were very, very close to them. So sometimes it weren't really about going to Tottenham and going there. I didn't really, you know, like I loved going to Arsenal. It's just saying a little bit more about it, but I loved to be with my granddad, like, do you know what I mean? And so I'd go. But then there comes a time when you get a little bit older and when you got to make a choice. And, you know, the choice come, and I chose Arsenal, and my brother, where we are, like in Cheshunt, like Tottenham's training ground used to be here. It's very much a Tottenham-based area, like, you know. So my brother, you know, he's a bit softer than me, like, so he went down the Tottenham route, and that's how it was, you know. And like all my nephews now are all Spurs fans. I've got a nephew.
Oh, wow.
I've got a nephew called Kane. Can you believe that? Like, you know what I mean?
Really?
So he hasn't had a present for 3 years. So, but he's finally got one now because I was told I was out of order. So
it's a bit similar to the real Kane, hasn't had a trophy.
Yeah, so that's how it is. So you can imagine, like, you know, if Arsenal lost against Spurs, tremendous amount of stick that we used to get, not nasty stick, but banter. But a lot of my very good mates are Tottenham fans, you know what I mean? So if Arsenal lose to Spurs, I feel I might get a little bit more, because you guarantee, like, soon as they lose, the phone rings, is, you know, like, blah, blah, and you know what it's like. So, you know, it means more to me not to lose to them, do you know what I mean? Like, than anything else. So, and that's how it is. So so me and my brother, and I've always regretted that, you know, like a couple of my mates that I go with are brothers and go to the games together as you know, but I've never been able to do that. My brother, never. You know, my brother goes. I actually want to do my mate. One of my best mates' boy plays for Spurs, Ryan Mason. So, and so he got me a couple of tickets. My brother lives abroad now, and he got us a couple of tickets for a Spurs game. And I took my nephew, who's about 21, 22. I mean, he might be older now, but I took him to a Spurs game. You know what I mean? I said, I got a couple of tickets, and I took him, like, do you know what I mean? But I can't do that with none of my nephews. Do you know what I mean? Like, like if they were Arsenal fans, which is normally in the world that would be how it would be. I'd say, I've got a couple of tickets for you. If my nephew Max was an Arsenal fan, you know, with my brother living abroad, I could say, right, Max, come, we're going here, you know. But unfortunately, he's a Spurs fan, so I missed out a little bit on all of that. Like, do you know what I mean? But that's how it is. Like, you know what I mean? So you know, I haven't been out. You know, like if you go around, like my brother lives in Thailand, so if you go there, like, all my nephews, like sitting in Spurs kits and all that, it's very hard to sort of go sit with me, like, you know, like Kane like comes home, can I sit with you? I say, no, you have to sit over there. So it's tough, you know what I mean? It's tough. So I had missed out on a little bit, like, you know, especially with my brother, because me and my brother have always been close growing up until, like, obviously moved abroad. We've never been able to do that, you know. That there's always been that, you know. I've never been out. He's never been out to me sharing my good
your happiness,
and it ain't really affected me like sharing his good moments because Spurs don't have many. So like,
your happiness is his sadness.
Yeah, I listen. I've had the best deal. Like,
Yeah.
With the glory side of it and everything. Like, listen, me and my dad. I don't know if you remember. There was a bread called Champion Bread that was out for going back, and me and my dad were sitting home. Arsenal won the league, and me and dad said, "Come, let's go and buy all that Champion Bread," and we put it all on his lawn and all that. Like, so we went up Tesco's, bought loads of bread with this Champion Bread on it, like, and put it all in his garden. So when we won the league, you know, he ran up, "You're out of order doing that." So like, but they're the little things that we could do. He could never do that to us, you know what I mean? So and eventually, because he got so bad, he moved abroad. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. So, like,
he could take it.
Yeah, couldn't take it no more.
No, we have something similar because me and Zahra's dad, he's a Liverpool fan. We're United fans, so we got that similar sort of thing that you and your brother have. Yeah.
Yeah, how's he allowed that to happen? I don't know.
I don't know, but we still go to United and Liverpool. So whatever end we're in, the other person has to stay quiet. So I kind of probably expose us right now, but that's how we kind of get by that.
Yeah. So I bet your dad's not too pleased. You see that? I think, you know, that's a tough one. If any of my kids become, they can support who they like bar Spurs.
Yeah.
That was the deal that I had with them, like, you know what I mean? So. You know, for you to go and choose United, that must hurt. Like,
yeah, it does. Yeah, especially because like direct rivals.
You don't seem so unhappy about it. You're both smiling about it. Like it's a good thing, like, you know.
Well, same as you. We've had the glory over the last, apart from last few years. Apart from that, but when growing up, my dad has never seen Liverpool win anything, so.
Yeah,
we got the better of it.
You know, and you're very lucky because, like, when I was growing up, Liverpool were the team.
They were,
you know, they were the Man United of the 80s, 70s, and 80s.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
You know,
he keeps reminding us it's always in the past.
Yeah,
forget it.
Well, Manchester City then now have come along, haven't they? So
yeah.
You know, made it a little bit tougher for you guys.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, what did you do before YouTube?
Before YouTube, I've still got my own dry cleaning company, so like business. So that's what I did. Like, you know, obviously, like, I played football when I was for a while. Obviously, like, when I was younger, I did like play professionally. Not like I was at a professional club. Then I got released from there, went into like semi-professional, so I've done okay on that. And then but I've always sort of been like, I think it was about because of football and everything. I used to work in a factory called Glaxo's for a while, and that was a lot of good life. But they started becoming a bit stricter, and I couldn't get away with the things that I was getting away with. So then it was time to work on my own. So however long ago that was, so that's what I've done. And then I just got into the dry cleaning bit. I don't know nothing about dry cleaning. I wouldn't know how to press a pair of trousers, if I'll be honest. But I got involved with it, and then got my own shop from there, and it's gone from there. You know? And then when you got your own business, you can do certain things. You know what I mean? It can, you know, I got great people that work for me, or did before the pandemic, so that I was, you know, I could sort of do both things pretty well. You know what I mean? So that's how it is. Like, you know what I mean? So got a few famous customers that come through the door. Like, you know what I mean? So a few Spurs.
Can you give us any names or?
Well, yeah, like Aussie Art Dealers is a regular customer. I had, unfortunately, before he passed away, Ray Clements and his family, like, you know. So Gillingham Towerworth, who's in EastEnders, she's a regular. So there's a few around there, like, you know what I mean. So big Arsenal fan.
Yeah, that must be nice.
Yeah, she's lovely. So so like, you know, but got a little story about the Spurs thing is that Aussie Art Dealers and Ricky Villa came in. Yeah. And he had the Spurs shirt that he scored the winner for, you know, when he goes around the number 5 on it. And he said, "Oh, can you clean it for us?" and all that. So I said, "Yeah, of course." So like I was phoning up all my Spurs mates saying to them, look, I've got Ricky Vila's shirt here for which he scored in the cup final. If you want to come down and have your photo done with it. So I've got all my Spurs mates for coming down having a photo with his shirt, like, do you know what I mean? So so good things like that. So some good things out of it, like, you know, good things.
Yeah, you know, how do you manage to balance like the YouTube side and your own business? What's like your schedule look
It's
like?
been like to be, as I say, like you know, I've got good people that work for me. Like, you know, I've got to give a big shout out to West Ham Paul, who covers me a lot. He does all the pressing and everything. Like, you know, he's football mad, West Ham, so he understands. So that's how I've covered. It's not only just covering the YouTube stuff. It was covering going to Arsenal games. Sometimes you'd have to, you know, like if you've got a midweek game in Europe or whatever, you'd have to have a couple of days off or whatever. Yeah. So it was a little bit tricky. Obviously now with the pandemic and everything, like I'm a little bit short-staffed because of it. So I'm having to juggle, you know, like, and that's where Paul sort of come in a lot more. And, you know, the YouTube stuff and everything with all that now is starting to become my main job now, if you know what I mean, where I'm really juggling things together, like, you know what I mean? Like people say it's a glamorous life, and it's not work. I'm not saying it's what, you know what I mean? And it's not. But like Tuesday, you know, you go out, I'm doing the shop, then I'm going doing filming in the afternoon, filming at night, and then I'm getting home at sort of 10 o'clock at night. So when you're leaving your house at 8 o'clock in the morning, not getting home till 10 o'clock, you know, I'm having to put a few hours in. Not all the time that happens, but like, and then people, you know, I went football the other day, and they said, "Oh, what are you doing today? Like, you know, what are you doing?" Sort of thing. I said, "Oh, I'm working." They go, "Yeah, I ain't working. What are you on about?" Like, you know what I mean? So, but it isn't work. I've got, you know, the things I'm doing at the minute. You know, it's a dream. I'm getting paid.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
To talk about Arsenal or play football, or do filming and all that. Like, you know what I mean? I've done a thing for the BBC a little while ago. You know, you just the experiences of all of that, you know, are unbelievable. Like, you know, like doing the shoots, how they do things on, you know, like shooting on the BBC or something like that, and the film. Yeah. What goes into it and what don't is incredible. Like, you know, so to get to see those things is unreal. You know, and be, you know, experience it and be part of that, all because of that one interview we spoke about earlier on. That if it wasn't for that, this would taken off since then. You know, wouldn't be there. Like, so it's given me some great experiences. Like,
sounds like a really interesting journey, and also a shout out to Paul if he's watching.
Oh yeah, I'll get him to watch it. Like, right, so it's good lad, Paul. Like, but he's done things for me. Like, I had to do that BBC shoot. It was like I think I had to be there at 11 o'clock at night. It was a night shoot, and it didn't finish till 3 o'clock in the morning. Then you got to get home. Yeah. And Paul would say to me, like, "Don't worry about coming in early. I'll open up." You know what I mean? So like, you can have at least a few hours sleep or whatever. Like, and that's you need people like that to be able to do what you do. Like, do you
understand the situation.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know what I mean? So you know, and you know, I'm obviously grateful that he does things like that for me. Like, you know, but great experiences. You know, and it's nice that people close to you enjoy those experiences as well, or you know, like, are proud of you or whatever, what you're doing, supportive, you know. And I think, excuse me, you need that. Yeah. You need that in life, that people, because one of the things you find is that people change towards you, whether you're close, and it's not just that. Some people close to you can be a little bit jealous of what you're getting and your success you're getting, and can change towards you as well. So you have to deal with all of that sort of stuff, you know. And I'm very, very fortunate. I've got someone like Kevin Campbell, who used to play for Arsenal, that's I've become really close with.
Good friends, aren't you now?
But he's been a good influence as well, because he's because I've had a few things like what's been happening and things like that, and he'd say, Lee, I've gone through that, this and that, don't be like this, and just give me good advice.
Yeah, that's right.
Because sometimes it can be upsetting if one of your close friends, if you like, can be a bit jealous of the sort of things that you're doing and all that. Because, but like as Kevin says, you can understand that because they want to be like that or whatever.
Yeah.
And he had those experiences as well, not only with close friends, with family, you know what I mean? So, yeah, like all those things, there's so many things that change in your life.
Yeah.
And it's not, you know, a lot of it is good, but there's some other things you have to deal with as well, and it can be a little bit upsetting as well, like, you know.
Yeah. So we're gonna jump to like the section about fans, and we're interested into knowing whether you have to be careful with what you say, just in case it has an impact on the football fans. So how do you feel about, you know, how do you go about that?
100% you have to change. You have to change. You have to be careful what you say, because you know what? I didn't realise this, and that I know this is going to sound silly, but everybody's watching you. And when that means it, everybody's watching you, and they're waiting for you to make a mistake, because they don't necessarily. I say there's a lot of people that do like you, but there's a lot of people out there that want to see you fail.
Yeah.
And you know, the perfect scenario is that was what happened with Claude. You know, when that came out, you know, people jumped onto that, and it was seen and everything like that, you know. So you do have to be very, very careful what you say. And the thing is, at the end of it, you have to be careful what you say, because you can influence people, and that's you know, and you in a good way and a bad way. So I found that, you know, listen, we have a thing now which is called a code of conduct. When if you sign contracts and things like that now, you know, you can't get involved, even though it's your personal account on Twitter. You can't get involved with things that are going to, you know, come back on the companies you work for and whatever like that.
Oh, okay.
So you have to be really. So if someone starts abusing you and all of that, you just have to let it go. So things change. 100% things change. Where before, you know, like someone can just start saying things and that's it. It's done and dusted. You know what I mean? But because you say it, because you've got this big influence or whatever, that's where you have to be careful. You know, you have to be careful in grounds. I had an incident where was at Liverpool. I'll tell you what, I'm not proud of this, but I will say it because it is relevant. Yeah. We were getting stuff 4-0 at the time, and you know, started slinging off the team and whatever. And I was with my mate, and some fella started talking. So you're emotionally into the game and whatever. You tell them, what do you want about? You know what I mean? And then before you know it, people are starting videoing it.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know them. One you're on about.
So my mate turned around and said, Lee, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and he went up to the fair, said, turn your camera off and all that, like, you know what I mean? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But what could have happened? I could have started getting into an argument with this fella. It could be all on video, and then, like, it makes you look the better person, which I was at the time. I was the one that started the argument because of what had gone on, you know, on the pitch, that, like, you know. So straight away, that can happen. So you've got to, so even when you go to a game and your mindset's got to change, that people might be looking at you to do something wrong instead of doing something right. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
you out of context as well.
Yeah, looking for the negativity and all that, and then can make what you want of it. Yeah. You know, you know, there could be an incident where, I don't know, someone could hit you, and then you turn around and hit them, and then they put it on the thing. Oh, look, you know, so and so's fault. So you've got to be. These things do happen, and you do see that sort of going into the side of things. So you do have to change perspective. You do have to change in everything, you know, in things, because people are watching you all the time. You know, if, you know, like you could be walking, you know, driving in the car and something, you know, road rage or something like, I don't know. You've got, you know, and you know, if it was someone famous, you'd be all on the camera and doing things like that. So you've just got to be very, very careful on all sorts of things. You know, sometimes, you know, which can be a bit of a sad thing, really, if you feel like you want to put something down and say something, you feel that you can't say it, just in case it is not the right thing to say and all that. Like, so you tend not to be yourself a little bit, but that's how it, you know, generally is. You know what I mean? So, you know, as long as you know, like, are not too. Listen, there's lots of people out there that make their way for being controversial and all that, and I get that. You know what I mean? Like, but as long as you're not being, you know, too over the top or whatever, then it's fine. But 100% you have to watch what you say, like, you know, and be careful that everybody's not genuine. You know, that's which is sad, but that's the way society is, I suppose, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's hard as well because you're coming straight out of the match, you're emotional, you want to give that kind of raw content. At the same time, you have to be so careful what you're saying, because like, for a second you say the wrong thing, then you're 100% straight away.
And listen, and I defy anybody. When you come out of a game your emotions are completely different at that moment in time to what they will be 24 hours later. And
100%,
you know, you might say something that you don't want to say, or shouldn't say, should I say. But like, the greatest thing about AFTV and all these sort of things, when they do the player cams, and even when you're doing the watch-alongs and that, it's raw emotion. It's a raw emotion of the game. And I don't think you can get that from pundits that are not involved with Arsenal or, like, you know, Liverpool, Man United or whatever. So you get that rawness, and that's what makes successful, because it's raw, because it's raw emotion. You know what I mean? It's not made up and all that lot. But, you know, the reaction you're going to get from me from a game, say, when Arsenal play Man United, is completely different 24 hours later, once you've digested it and you can sit there and that. But that's the key of it all. But you can't. There are things that you can't say, and so you know, like, you've got to be wary of it. Of course, you know. Listen, when we do these watch-alongs and all that, it's drilled into you. Don't forget you're on camera. Remember,
live as well.
So they're telling you. But when they're telling you, I used to get my phone out, put a little thing on that. Remember, you're being watched on telly. Remember, you don't want no memes about you and all that. Like, you know what I mean? 5 minutes later, you wallop. You know what I mean? Like, you totally forgot about it, and there's a meme up. Like, you know what I mean? So that's how it is. But they try and drill it in as best you can. Like, you know. So, and that's what you have to do. Like, you know.
Yeah, no, especially because, like, people think what you'll say straight after a game is what you literally think 24 hours later, whereas, and then if you change your mind, you'll be called a flip-flop and everything, but you can literally have a different perspective from the game the next day.
People, I'll tell you what, that's a great thing, you know, like the flip-flop. You know what I mean? Like, well, if you're not a flip-flop, you're not a fan, because if you look at it from a fan's point of view, you know, you are emotionally on a roller coaster ride of what that result is. So you're going to be up, you're going to be up, you're going to be down, flip flop. You know what I mean? Like, they used to call me a flip flop and all that, and then so one, you know, you've got to go with it. So I put all my flip flops on the back end, and like I said, like, you know, I'm flip flopping, like, you know what I mean? So, but I am a flip flop because I go on results. If Arsenal win one week, then I'm great. If they lose, I'm not. You know what I mean? I don't hide the fact from that, and I don't think you should ever stop being who you should be and what you believe in. You know what I mean? Yeah, if someone calls you a flip flop, oh, I better sit on the fence all the time, that ain't no good. You know what I mean? No. And listen, don't matter if you're in this game. You guys will know this as well. Like, you know, if you're in this game, you're going to have good times, you're going to have good feedback, and you're going to have bad. And do you know what? You've got to take the rough with the smooth. It's as simple as that. You will get slagged off, but you also got to you will get a lot of loving. But it's natural. Like, I get loads of messages where you're a brilliant legend, go, and then you'll get one go, you bald-headed twat, right? And that's the one you focus on.
Yeah, it's the one that gets to you.
But you intensely realise that you've got to brush that aside, focus on the good side, because you're not going to please everybody in life and in doing this and whatever. Never. football is a fantastic thing because it's about opinions. And do you know what? I'm not wrong, and you're not wrong, because you know what? It's your opinion. An opinion, it's an opinion. It's not fact, it's an opinion. So not everybody is going to agree with your opinion. So you have to accept that, and that's fine. So, you know, you've just got to take the rough with the smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. Like, especially football's is like, it's a results game as well. Like, you're allowed to change your opinion based on new evidence presented as well, which people think one week is completely different from the next in football during the season.
It's unbelievable. Listen, you can play crap all game, like for 89 minutes and lose 1-0, or for 90 minutes, you're rubbish. You can play exactly the same way, right? And then get 2 goals in the last minute and win 2-1, and you're oh, that's great, it's great. But realistically, you've watched the same things twice, but with a different outcome. But one's happy, you're happy with one outcome, the other you're not. And that's football.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, and then the greatest thing about football, and I guarantee every fan has said it, right? You've walked out the stadium, you've watched it on set, that's it, I'm not watching it again. No, I'm not going no more. Oh, that's the last time. And then like 2-3 days later, you're on the phone to your mates. What time are we meeting? Where are we going? That is football fans. You know what I mean? That is how it is. And you know, that is it. You know, and the greatest thing, if you go to the cinema or you go to the theatre and you see a crap film or a crap film, you ain't going back again, are you? That's it. No. So if you watched Jaws and it was rubbish, right? In your opinion, when Jaws 2 comes out, you're not going to go. But for a football fan, you can watch 90 minutes of total rubbish. You know what I mean? But the next game, you're still going to go. You'll go.
Yeah, no.
Because it's in you. You know, it's the mental side of you that will take you go. You got someone on your shoulder going, "Don't waste your money no more. Don't waste your money." And you've got the other one going, "Come on, let's go. It'll be better this time around." And you always listen to that one, don't you? Like, and you go. Like, that is football. That is
especially when it comes to England as well. Like, we're all heartbroken after the last tournament. 2 years later, we're all like pumped up.
Well, exactly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, we've had it going on with England, 55 years, and we still think it's coming home. You know what I mean? Well, we will believe it until it doesn't. You know what I mean? And that's football, isn't it? And you know, it's on to the next World Cup now, or it's on to the next game. And you know, if you ain't going to win this season, you know, you Man United fans are a little bit better than us. You're probably thinking, well, you've got a good chance of winning it this year, like you know. But ultimately, you know, the common sense tells you to be Man City and Chelsea. But that ain't going to stop you believing, and rightly so. That's what football's about. It's making you know, your hopes and dreams and that's what makes it so
fine
great.
Margins.
Yeah, fine margins. Yeah, there is. You know, I mean, and you know, like Chelsea, European champions last year. They never, you know, Arsenal were crap, but they never beat us.
Yeah. Now, even if you look at the penalty shootout with England, if we win the penalty shootout, it's a Southgate masterclass, isn't it, in the tournament? All of a sudden we lose on penalties, then it's a disaster.
You know, England never lost a game. Lost a game, but still didn't win the tournament.
Yeah.
You know, that's our fine lines in football. It's not the first time England have not won a tournament, have not lost a game at a tournament, gone out, by the way. There's been a 1982, I think there was another one. But it happens, and that's what makes football great.
Yeah, exactly.
What's it like meeting and collaborating with other team fans?
The fan channels.
Yeah, team fan channels.
Very good question. You know, I said, like, I never... Through Troopz, like Expressions and Troopz are very, very good friends.
Yeah.
And I hated Expressions. You know what I mean? Tottenham fan, didn't like him and all that. And Troopz used to say, give him a chance. He's a really, really nice guy. I said, nah, don't want to know him. Don't, you know. So we was at Wembley one time and he come out and actually to bump into him. He's going, I know you want to talk to me, Lee. I know you really want to talk to me, like, you know. And I'm glad I did, because he's one of the nicest guys you ever taken away. That Spurs side of it. You got to peel off that, you know, because he supports a different team, you know, and he actually gave me a good lesson and all that, like that you shouldn't hate on because of what they follow and whatever, like, do you know what I mean? And we've become really like good friends and close, and he's a great guy. And you got to take away that allegiances from it and all that, like, you know. But you meet some great people. You know, you two great guys. You know, United fans. Does it really matter what teams you support? I don't think it does. You know, and I think that when you do these, that is one of the good sides about it. That you can meet through what I'm doing now. I can get to meet different people that have different backgrounds, different football teams, and whatever. You know, if it wasn't for me doing it, we couldn't have never done this, and never, you know, we never got to talk to you, blah blah blah. So it is good, you know what I mean. And the greatest things about the Euros was that there was Man United fans there, like, you know what I mean, like, you
Flex,
like, Flex is a great guy, great guy. You know what I mean, man?
He comes across it,
being a Man United guy, great guy, really nice, humble person, great to talk to. Liverpool Alex, you know, is a Liverpool fan. Of Cop TV, fantastic guy. You know, like obviously, like, you know, you've got all sorts of different fans on there, like, do you know what I mean? And you get to, you know, like Spurs fans, West Ham fans, you know what I mean? Like Nick West Ham fan. I don't know if you know Nick from West Ham TV.
Yeah.
One of the nicest guys you ever. We've
really?
done a late show. You know, this is the sort of things that can happen. We've done a really late show. Went in the pit. I can't remember, like the change of late. Said, I'll take you home. I'll give you a lift. But it's out of your way. Don't matter. So he went half hour of his way. So that I got home, you know what I mean? And that's a West Ham fan doing it. You know, I don't know if he'd do it if it was a West Ham Arsenal fan, but ultimately he did, you know, and there's things like that. And, you know, so you can meet these people and they're all nice. They're all nice guys and do things for you, and, you know, like help other shows grow and things like that. And I think that's one of the great things about it. All the people you meet on there are always willing to help you out. And do things, you know what I mean? So I've set up my own sort of channel now, which I've just started. You wouldn't believe how many people want to help you, want to be a guest, want to come on, doing that, you know what I mean? And say, well, I can't pay you and all that. Like, I don't want paying, you know what I mean? Like, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, it is a nice, I've got to say, a nice little community world you get into, like, do you know what I mean? If I'll be honest.
Yeah.
No, it's great to see as well, because especially with, like, you have the mainstream media quite recently with, like, TalkSport going at Robbie for, like, criticising AFTV and stuff. So I think it's great. All the fan channels should really come together how they are right now and just all win together rather than being,
listen,
like,
they hate
each other.
They hate it.
Yeah, they do.
They hate it.
But their competition is
taken away from their. Listen, you know, as a if you're a Man United fan, you don't really want to hear from Jamie Carragher about Man United. You will do from when Roy Keane talks or something like that.
I want to hear from Goldbridge.
You want to hear from the Man United people, you know, Mark Goldbridge or Flex. You want to hear because they're fans. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear from what Jermaine Genius has got to say about Arsenal. You know what I mean? I couldn't give a monkey's what he says about it. You know what I mean? Like, but when Claude was talking about Arsenal or you know, myself or whatever, I want to know what fans are feeling. You know what I mean? And that was the thing. We used to go on away games, and you'd have Radio 5 Live and all that, like, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden, you know, now you've got the channels you could watch, you know, like AFTV on the way home, see what fans are saying. It's a great concept, and what it is, it's fans. Now, some fans want to get involved, others don't. That's their prerogative, you know. But ultimately, TalkSport are still slagging off whatever and doing what they're still being the same critical thing as what we do. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if Man United lose 5-0 to Liverpool at Anfield, I guarantee that most Liverpool Man United fans are not going to come out going, "Oh, that was a great performance. We've done really well," and all that. They're going to have fun with the team. You know what I mean? Like, if you've won 5-0, you're going to be fantastic about it. So that is football. Football's always going to be criticise players and all that, like, you know what I mean? And if you're not a footballer, you know, when I played, we had the fans forums on the thing. If you played well, jump on them, have a little look. So, well, I might have scored a goal, like, you know, our judge is brilliant. Like, well, if we'd lost, I ain't getting on there. I am not getting on there because I know what's coming. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to be, as a fan, as a football fan, you're going to be fickle, and as a player, you've got to have a thick skin to handle that. Like, you know, and most of them do. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like they use it as banter and all that. I know for a fact that Arsenal players would come in and go, "Oh, look, see what they're saying about
it." Yeah, quite open about that. Yeah,
guaranteed it happens because it's footballers are young banter and they do it and all that, and they watch it all. That, of course, they watch it all, and so. When you think about it, how great is that? That if you can say something, you know that players are going to get to see it and all that, like, or whatever, like, you know what I mean? It's unbelievable. Like, for so long in our lives as fans, you never had that interaction with. You know, Twitter, you can, you know, can do that as well if it's run properly. But you can interact with players. You know what I mean? Like from this era and also. You know, the era's gone by. You know what I mean? What a gift! What a gift for us all as a fans to have. You know what I mean? So why we want to abuse that? I don't know, but it's just a fantastic gift that we've got, and you know, and I think fans have got a fantastic voice now. You know, and we should be proud of that. Like, you know what I mean? Everyone. You know, that things can be done. Look at the thing with the Super League. If it wasn't for the fans all coming together there, and that, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's fan power. That's happened over a year. You know, 10 years ago, that wouldn't have happened. That would have just been brushed aside. You know, who cares about fans? But now they do. You know, they can't. And I'll tell you what's happened great with fans at the moment is with the pandemic, with no fans in the stadium, it's nowhere near the same. Nowhere near the same. Now you get fans back. Look at it. You know what I mean? So when they say fans are not important, we bloody well are. Simple as that. Yeah. Simple as that.
Yeah, and everyone assumes that the players hate this. Well, Aubameyang's on Instagram Live after FA Cup final with Troopz. Yeah. I think even like Troopz even said, like Lacazette said to him, "What I like about you is if I play bad, you'll say I play bad. It never gets personal." Like they do watch, isn't it?
100%, 100%. Like, you know, 100%. I'll tell you a few stories and all that, like, you know what I mean? That, you know, it's you know, unbelievable that you know that they're watching and all that, like, you know. But yeah, you know. So, but I'll tell you what now. Even though that you know they're watching, if they're having a bad game, I'm not going to tell it. I'm not going to go, oh, Lacazette's watching today, so I'm not going to say what I'm going to say. I'll say how it is. You know what I mean? Like, and that's up to them to deal with it. You know what I mean? Like, whatever, like, you know what I mean? And but it's great that fans have got a voice and an opinion. And, you know, as long as you don't go overboard and go to, you know, personal, fine. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you know, listen, people can criticise me as much as they want. You've got to be able to take it because it's the world you put yourself into, like, as a footballer as well. But ultimately, you don't want them taking the mickey out of your kids or your mum and dad or whatever.
That's too far,
like that, and going personal on things like that, you know. And you know, you can call me whatever you want, and that's how it is. And I think that should be the same with footballers as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say to the people that say fan channels are toxic and you only get views when you lose?
Listen, you're always going to get fans. Listen, if Arsenal win 5-0, no Spurs fans going to jump on. It's as simple as that. Like, do you know what I mean? If you've lost, Spurs fans are going to jump on. You're going to have to accept that. You know what I mean? That is what happens. You know, this has been happening all the time. You know, like in pubs and it's just on a bigger scale now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like if Arsenal beat Spurs back in the 80s and 90s, you'd have a phone call with a couple of your mates, or in the pub when you got back to the pub, there'd be the little Spurs corner, the little Arsenal corner, there'd be a bit of banter going on. It's all what's happened now is it's just got worldwide. You know what I mean? Like, and that's how it is. So you've always had that. So I do think that, you know, like toxic. I think that at some points of AFTV, it did get a bit like that. I'm not going to lie. I don't think you can say that it didn't. I think it's something that the powers that be at the channel have tried to sort out, you know, and in my opinion have. I think that you look at people can jump on the bandwagon and say AFTV or any other fan channel. It's all about when you lose and losing out. If you go into Arsenal Fan TV and you have a look at it, there's so much more concept than just fan cams and just that. There's good shows on there that I've been a part of or not been a part of, and are certainly not negative in any shape or form. So the people that jump on and go, it's all negative and all negative, are the ones that go, I can tell you a few things. Like, I never watched that channel and all that. Like, they go to me, I've been on the train station, like, you know what I mean, or on the train. I never watch it, like, you know what I mean? I never watch it, like, you know. I'll tell you why I don't watch it, because that Troopz is this, or DT's that.
Yeah, they know everyone, though.
So, well, how comes you know everybody's name? Well, I get put it on my feed. Put it on my feed. Gets on my Twitter feed and all that, like, you know. Right. Well, if I get saying on Twitter I don't look, I just brush it aside. So when they turn around and say, "Oh, I don't watch it," they do, because obviously, like, you know, so they see that, whether they watch it for 10 seconds or whatever, it's on my feed and all that. Like, I get that a lot of times. It's on my feed, you know what I mean? Like, it's on my timeline. They can past it. Still got a choice whether to watch it or not. You still press the play. You know what I mean? Like, so it doesn't come up on your feed that you have to watch it, otherwise your phone's going to explode. You know what I mean? Like, you just get to watch it. So, you know, it's there. And the thing is, and I do get it with the old school fans. You know what I mean? It's not right. So football has changed, and you know, VAR weren't about 10 years ago. You know what I mean? The offside by fag paper wasn't there. Like, the game has changed, and the you know, from going into all seat stadiums and everything like that, the game's changed. The game's changed. Everything about the game's changed, and fan cams and fan things and everything like that has changed. It's changed. You know, when was it years ago? You know, I watched. I was saying I watched on. I think it was like the Euros. One of the penalties being taken, like, you know, one of the fan cams. I see everybody watching the penalties with their phones. So you know what I mean, like, and then like when the goal scored, they're all chatting. You know, like that.
I did that in my blog.
Ali did one.
I mean, the culture of football's changed. 20 years ago, no one would have a phone waiting to see that, you know, having a penalty. It's, you know, come on. Now, a lot of people are going to say that's not great and all that, but you've got to go with, and I feel
it's different.
I've gone with the change. You know what I mean? Like, I've gone with the change. I've sort of said, like, this is going to happen. It doesn't offend me that someone's got their phone watching a game of football in front of me or whatever. You go to away games, people are going, put that effing phone down and all that, like, you know what I mean? But if they want to do that, I've never got a bug about it, you know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you, you know? Because football, it has changed, and it will continue to change. There'll be different things in 20, 15 years' time that will change. And so that's how it is. That is how it is. And you know, a lot of people don't like change. They don't like it, you know what I mean? But you've got to go with it. You know, cameras and phones are here to stay.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like the whole watching your rival team when they've lost, it's not exclusive to fan channels. Like, if Liverpool lose, I'm going to go and watch the highlights. If they win, I'm just going to see the score and move on to when our next game is, isn't it?
100%. 100%. I'll tell you this now. If Arsenal lose on Match of the Day, I don't watch it. Right?
Yeah, neither do I.
Spurs are on Match of the Day and they've won. I don't watch it, but I can tell you this now: if Spurs have lost on Match of the Day, I'm watching it. And if Arsenal have won, I'm watching it. So what's the difference? No one's slagging off Match of the Day going, you're negative or whatever because you're saying I'm winning or losing. It's the same thing. It's the mentality. It's been going on for years. Before all this come out, there was just Match of the Day. So, you know what I mean? Like, Arsenal would be on it, they'd win. Tottenham were on it and they'd win. I'd turn it off for 5 minutes. And then when it come back on, I'd put it on. It's all, you know, but if they'd lost, let's keep it going, like, you know what I mean? There was a cup final they lost in the other day. It was on telly. I thought, I'd watch that. But if they'd have won it, I wouldn't have watched it. You know what I mean? So it's been there forever. It's been there forever.
Yeah, no.
People don't want to see it like that. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, you know? 20 years ago, they'd be on the radio if Arsenal had lost, putting on Talk Sport or Radio 5 Live, listening to all the Arsenal fans moaning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
the same on radio.
Of course it has. It's been there for years. But people don't want to admit to that. They want to blame the fan channels, you know. Oh, that's the reason. The reason Arsenal lost today is because the fan cams and the fan pressure. Don't be so stupid. You know, when they turn around and go, oh, you're embarrassing Arsenal. Like, you know, if Arsenal win games, no one would be embarrassed. Who's embarrassing? It's the team.
It's all agenda driven.
Of course it is. And it's the team that does it. If the team's winning, there's no... Listen, Man United, for instance, you know, they've been having a bit of a bad time of it of late, and that's why people jump on that. You know what I mean? Like, if you was winning like you was in the 90s and that, people would be just turning around and going, don't worry about it.
It's boring.
Like,
yeah.
So you know, it's incredible. Like, you know what I mean? So that's how things are, and you know, people believe it, and that people think, you know what I mean, like. You know, unbelievable, like, you know what I mean? So,
yeah,
that's how football is.
Yeah. Would you say that AFTV has changed your life?
Yeah, it has changed my life. It's changed it for a lot of things that have changed it. Like, definitely changed my life of how I watch football now and how you go to it. Listen, you get invited to things that you would never ever get onto, you know what I mean? Like, been invited to go to Lords, been invited to go to the Emirates, invited to do things that, you know, I've gone on through this. I met a fellow businessman from Thailand who my brother knew, and you know, I got invited to the Savoy. I'm sitting in a hotel in the Savoy, drinking champagne. Do you know how much that is? It's unbelievable, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Drinking champagne. And I've got David O'Leary on my table, like, you know, and then when they're doing the auction, people are bidding £3,000 to just have that, what I'm having, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, there are lots of things that have changed in my life from that, like, you know. It's given me, I think, you know, as we spoke about earlier, like, you know, going on to film sets at the BBC and things like that, you know what I mean? They're things that you can just dream of and what it's like.
Yeah.
And when you go onto that set, oh, Lee, how are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, this is your chaperone for the day. She'll be looking after you where you go and things like that. And I'm looking at this chaperone, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on here? Like, do you know what I mean? So it completely has utterly changed things. And it's got bigger and bigger and bigger. I can't emphasise how big it is now. You know what I mean? Like, and people want to say, you know, how big it is and what I can't. It is incredible. Nice. So yeah, it's changed my life. Has it changed it for the better? Of course it has. You know what I mean? I'm doing things now that in life, I don't get up in the morning and think, oh, I've got to go to work.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you know, now I used to do, you know, when I worked in a factory years ago, I used to do shift work. When you used to work, get up at 6 o'clock, you know, start at 6 and 6 till 2, then 2 till 10 working nights. If I have to do like a night shoot or a night day in the evening in the studio or whatever, I don't look at it, think, oh, I've got a night job. Oh, it's nights. I'm on nights this week or whatever.
Yeah.
It's, you know, I don't look at it like that. It's like, it's great, you know what I mean? You're going there and talking football or whatever. So, you know, you've got to be up early in the morning one day, like, like, you know what I mean? I'm not worried about it, do you know what I mean? So I don't get up in the morning and think, oh, I've got to go to work today and all that. Like, so yeah, it's changed it, and it's changed it fantastically well for me, and it's a privilege. You know, it's a privilege for me to come on and speak to other people. Want to talk to me. People want to, you know, not being arrogant. That want to know my views and things like that. You know, what an incredible gift that is. You know what I mean? If you look at that in perspective, you know what I mean? 5 years ago, 6 years ago, no one cared what I had to say. You know what I mean? Like, what bothered what I say, you know what I mean? Now people want to hear my opinions. People will pay for my opinions.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
What a gift. So yeah, 100% changed my life, and you know, definitely for the best. And listen, I don't care what anybody says. We good things in life, but there's always going to be negativity. You're always going to get something. You know what I mean? So there's always going to be some things on the dark side. But ultimately, you know, there's 100% more good than bad.
Yeah, spot on. Yeah. So how is it like working with like all the different personalities on AFTV, like Troopz, DT, Ty? How is it?
Yeah, do you know what? I've got to say this. I get on fantastically well with all of them. I'll be honest with you. Like, you know, Ty is just an amazing person to be.
Yeah, seems like a great guy.
He's a great guy. Like, what he is, what you see is what you get. He's such a lovable person. Like, you know, so I get on really well with him. Like, the two new guys that have come to the fore, in Cecil and James, I just think have made AFTV so much more professional, so much more enjoyable to be around and all that. Like, Turkish is a great guy. I get well with him as well. Got a real good relationship with him. And the girls are fantastic as well. Lovely girls. Know their stuff. Really, all going great. So it's a great team that we've got. You know what I mean? Robbie's great. All the guys around the back, you know, the production people and everything like that. You know, when you think that when I first went on there was just 2 people on the production, right? Then it become 3. Brennan come in there now. So what it's like now, there's 5 or 6. The studios are incredible. And the different people that are working there, they've got media guys working there, legal guys working there, like, you know, that are watching everything that, you know, that like, you know, things that you have to go in there, like general manager in like Laurie, who's like Robbie's brother, there, you know, people that are there to help you, like Jackie that does all the administration stuff and everything like that. It's incredible what it is now, like the production that goes into it and what goes into it. You know, we just done a show the other day, you know, like How's Your Touch, which is about little football. You know, there's 3 cameras, there's 3 production people. There's someone looking after you from
a big scale.
It's a massive scale. There's not much, to be honest. There's not a difference between that now and then doing something like, you know, on the BBC. You know what I mean? Like when I've done. That's true. There's not much difference. You know, that just shows you, you know, the quality of it is, and everything's got to be right. You know, we do a podcast with AFTV, and you've got a production guy that comes on here and makes sure that the speakers are all right, the sounds, this and that, like the camera angle's got to be right. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, all things like that, where, you know, you come on my channel, come on here, just get on with it and done it. There's so much, because we haven't got that behind us, you know what I mean? Like that sort of production behind us. But that's, you know, like, let's get this right. Robbie and Tal, who started it together, were just like, you know, one camera and a mic at one stage. You know? And that's how you have to go. You just got to keep building it up. And so, you know, to what it's like now is incredible. But the guys, you know, there's some mad ones, don't get me wrong. Kalechi, mad as a box of frogs. You know what I mean? Bloody wand and all that. Like
seems like a character.
But ultimately, a nice guy. And the one good thing about it is, do you know what? They're all completely different. Now, to what my mates are like if I was going to an Arsenal game. So I get not say the best of both worlds, but I get to go with all my mates and that, and then you go over to that side of it, and it's completely different. So it's a different Arsenal experience to the Arsenal experience I have with my mates. You know, do you see what I'm saying? Like, you know? And they're all different people. And listen, the greatest thing without having it, the fans, in, you know, a lot of normal people of watching football have been watching it at home on their own or whatever. You know, I've been fortunate because of the job that I'm doing. I've been able to go and mix with other fans and Arsenal and get that experience. So very, very fortunate. But yeah, all good guys. But Ty, you can't help but love Ty. When he's about, you know, deluded as anything. I'll tell him it as well. Like, you know what I mean? He will not see
blaming the rain and stuff
whatsoever. But ultimately, you know, a classy guy. Like, you know what I mean? But they're all good on there. I have to say, everybody, you know, all good guys. It's a good team of people that we got together there. Like, you know.
Yeah. I want to ask you about DT and Troopz as well, because I think people kind of gauge an opinion of them just by seeing their fan cam, but when you actually listen to them on like the podcast stuff, really intelligent guys about Arsenal. So how's your experience been with them? Like, would you agree with me? Like,
yeah, like listen, out of everyone, like me and DT, you know, not that close, but then obviously when we got to the to do the watch-alongs, and you get to meet them and you get to see them in a different light. Yeah. And he, you know, there's a persona about him and a character thing. He's not like that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem.
You know, he's a pussycat. You know what I mean? Like, he ain't like, you know, this hard, deceiving bloke. You know that you see. Like, you know, I'll be very surprised if he could fight his way out of a paper bag. If I'll be honest.
Really.
But at the end of the day, he's completely different side of him. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen the side of him, and you know what? I'll be honest. I've seen the side, and I think, you know, you're not a bad guy.
Yeah, he's not a chill guy.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, you know, he does things that, you know, he's a bit of a diva or whatever, like, you know what I mean? But you're always going to get them. Like Troopz, if you ever meet him or whatever, like, you know, make sure you've got some Anadin with you or some, because he's like constant. Him and Expressions are the same.
Oh, that'd be crazy. Yeah.
Vibe. Very, very. And they come into action, you know what I mean? They'd be quite
a lot of energy,
you know what I mean? But like the energy that they've got is incredible. And I'll tell you what, like one thing about Troopz is I think Troopz has gone, you know, like massive, you know,
it's gone New York,
go to America and get a living in America and everything like that. Wow, fantastic! You know what I mean? Like, you know, magnificent sort of scale that he's doing. But he's never changed. He's never been arrogant. Never been this. Just same. If you meet him now, it's the same Troopz he was 5 years ago. And I think that's a great trait. I really,
that's great.
You know, so, and what he's got, as far as I'm concerned, never gone to his head, and has always been the same.
No, that's important.
That he has been all the time, like, you know.
Yeah, just a genuine guy. Yeah. And of course, it hasn't been like still not too long since like the sad passing of Claude as well. Like, it's incredible the amount of like positive tributes that came out after like all of that as well. What was like your relationship with Claude?
Oh, me and Claude had a great relationship. You know what I mean? The thing with me and Claude, for me, I don't think it's going to really hit me until I go back to the grounds and games, because what would happen with Claude is we'd do the fan cams and then we're right, I'm off down, wait for me. I say, right, I'll wait for you. And we'd have a couple of beers back at the 12 pin, and wherever it was, even if I didn't see him at the fan cams, we'd end up having a beer together at the end of the games and all that. You know, meet up and things like that. And I've had him around my house for barbecues and things like that. I had a fantastic relationship with him. Like, we had our ups and downs, we had our arguments, you know what I mean? Like, and we've had a couple of falling outs along the way. But and we had a falling out, you know, words were said about after that AFTV thing, what happened with him. You know, he felt that I didn't say him as well as I should, and, you know, I should have backed him up. And I said, well, you know, that's my opinion, and we didn't have we didn't speak for a while. So, you know, I said, if that's how you feel, F you, like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? And that but then 2 days later, he'd go, oh, half pint, you're all right, and all that. Like, so I said, yeah, you know. But we was actually not talking for a little while, and then my dad passed away, and he was one of the first people to phone up and say, oh, sorry to hear about your dad, and, you know. And then we started talking again, and thankfully we did, because a few months later, obviously, you know, Claude passed away as well. And the thing is, and I really mean this, and if you're not talking to somebody or not, you know, and you're falling out with people or whatever, you just don't know what's around the corner.
It's true,
you know, I'd spoken to Claude about 3 or 4 days before that. He said, hey, I'm not well and all that. Like, and I said, like, well, you know, get yourself down to doctors instead of like, you know, get yourself down there. He said, yeah. And I thought, well, I'll phone him up tomorrow, see how he is and all that. And then that was the day that I got the phone call that, you know, he passed away, you know. So very, very upsetting. And
it didn't seem real when it first happened, like when the news broke.
No, you know, no, it didn't. It was very, very, you know, and because then, you know, Claude was a, you know, complex character to say the least. You know what I mean? He said the day before tweet, said, "Oh, I'm going to be with my mum tomorrow." You know, and he said that a lot. You know what I mean? Like, so you know, and then like, bloody hell, he did die the next day. You know, of course, people then start putting 2 and 2 together and getting 5. You know what I mean? And just like with my dad, you know, when I found out my dad died of natural causes, like my dad had a heart attack. So, but I was worried, you know, like something like, you know, that had happened and whatever, like, you know. But when I found that out, you know, I felt a bit better. It was the same with Claude. When I found out that he'd died of a heart attack, you know what I mean? Like, at least you knew that it wasn't.
What, I know,
you know, so there was that little bit more. Oh, well, that's
that peace, a
little bit of peace in your mind, exactly, like, you know. So, you know, listen, he was one of the reasons that I watched AFTV. I'm going to be really honest with you.
A lot of people,
you know,
same for a lot of people.
And going back to that first interview, he's actually in that first interview. If you go back,
he is, isn't he?
You know, he actually.
From beginning.
And he actually puts it, oh, I never said that. And I said, I know you, not you, Claude. And from that day, me and him just got on from that day. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and listen, he had his issues, mental health issues and things and all that, like, you know. But ultimately, a very, very good guy. Great company to be about. I'll tell you this now, like, you know, very funny guy. You know, funny without even knowing he was funny. Do you know what I mean? Like, so again, you could see it, there was a different side of him on the camera to what he was like off the camera. There was this funny guy, you know, he used to do some funny things, like even on camera and all that. And he was very, very funny.
He just was himself on camera as well.
He's always sat and he'd be like that in a pub, and you know, he'd have you in laughter with some of the things he'd say and all that. And I will. Well, I miss him now, but I miss him much, much more when the games are going to go there, because I think that's when it hit home that he's not there, if you know what I mean. So
big presence to miss.
It's just a tough thing. You know, we had a couple of bad things because we had Heavy D as well that, you know, passed away as well. That was now he had unfortunately he had a big falling out with things, and you know that wasn't quite resolved. But another good, funny guy, you know what I mean? Like, got a lot of stick, but I got on well with Colin, you know what I mean? So a couple of bad, you know, took a couple of big heavy blows here, really, like, you know, and but, you know, unfortunately, life does do that to you, I suppose. So that's why and I tell you what, like, you know, and I know when you're young, you don't think of it so much, but you know, like life's no dress rehearsal. Go for it. Do what you got to do, because you know it's so important that you enjoy life, because you've only got one shot here. And
exactly.
You know, so enjoy it best you can, like, you know, and that's what I certainly do. I enjoy life as best I can, you know, and you know that, and I think if everybody should be like that, you know, work hard, get educated, a better chance in life.
Yeah.
No, I think that's great advice, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So we've got 2 questions to ask you that we ask every guest that comes on our show. So the first question is, what does success mean to you?
Oh, that's a good question. You know what I mean? I think success is being happy in what you're doing. Trying to be the best you can be. Yeah. Because we can't all get to what we want to be. Don't matter how much you try, you know what I mean? Like, as hard as, you know, you got to, you know, you got to have that little bit of luck or whatever, like, but just, you know, successful, be as happy as you possibly can. And, I think that would be it for me, like, you know. I don't think materialistic things are a success. If I'll be honest. I think that if you've got I think a successful life is being happy in yourself and having good people around you, good friends.
Exactly, yeah.
And you know what? I'm lucky. I've got good people around me, good friends, good family. So that's a success as far as I'm concerned.
So I'm smiling because the other question is, what does happiness mean to you?
Happiness. Whoa, Arsenal winning every weekend night will be great. So, do you know what? Happiness is a tough one because you're going to go through life when you're not going to be happy. There's going to be times when you're not. You know, family, your kids, relationships are not always going to be happy. You know what I mean? And you'll find that as you go along in life. So, but happiness is, I think, knowing that you're doing, giving your best, being, as I said earlier on, waking up in the morning and being alive. You know what I mean? And being able to do the things that you want to do. So I think that if you can be happy for as much as you can be, then you're going to be happy in life. You know what I mean? And listen, happiness, I think, is not all down to yourself. You know what I mean? I think it's down to other people being around you and realising that. But one thing I will say is don't rely on, and I probably made this mistake in my life, is that don't rely on other people to make you happy.
Yeah.
Make yourself happy. You know what I mean? If you're in a relationship where you're trying to make someone happy that's going to make you happy, then it's ultimately not going to work. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
The first thing to be happy with yourself, but don't rely on other people to make you happy. Make yourself happy for yourself, and then like the rest will come together. Like, you know what I mean?
I think that's really good advice. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no, really wise. It's like great hearing from that side of you as well, because a lot of people just hear you talk about Arsenal, but it's like great hearing from someone gone through life, like a really great perspective, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you do go through it. You know what I mean? Like, and listen, one of the things that I want to do, and it is, and this is a true thing. I can't. Do you know I've got 3 schools by me?
Yeah.
And I say if I'm like I've got to walk to the shops, and I might have a walk to the shop. I can't go between a certain time because the school kids come out and I get mobbed. But what I would love to do is I feel like I've got an influence, that I can influence kids to make the right choices in life, because you know, like we've something's happened in my life, but I won't go into where you can't. I couldn't influence that, where I could, you know, and if I can influence kids and that to do the right things in life. And I mean, like, not, you know, you don't have to go and get the best job, be educated, but do the best you can. You know, there's so many opportunities for kids out there now to do the right thing. You know what I mean? Like in life. And I feel like, you know, when I see these kids and they go like, I've got an influence, and I feel that I want to be able to use that influence.
That's great.
For the best, you know what I mean, and try and educate, but not educate, but just say to people like, you know, look, if you do this and do this and do this, you can get this and that. And if you go down this road, this is what's going to happen. Like, you know, where and if you can just influence one kid to just keep on the straight and narrow and go down that right route, that would be an achievement. So I really want to get involved in things like that later down in my journey. Like, you know what I mean? Try and be a positive influence to young kids coming through and all that. Like, you know?
Yeah, no, that's brilliant to use your platform to like kind of do good as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I like to do. Like, because you know there was a time when I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So we've got a section of a little bit of Arsenal questions for you. So are you ready to start that?
All
right. So we'll start off with an easy one for you, perhaps. Who is the top scorer in Arsenal's invincible season?
Oh, that's an easy one. Thierry Henry.
Yeah. Okay. So the second question is, how many goals did he score that season in the league and in all competitions?
Oh, you.
So we'll go for league first. Or whichever order you want to go for.
I think it's about, you know what I mean, like, you're testing me, I'm going to say it was 26.
In the league?
In the league, yeah, 26, 20. Yeah, no, about that. Round about that.
Yeah, no, even higher. He got 30 in the league.
He got 30 in the league.
30 in the league. Imagine that now. Like, that'd be incredible.
Yeah,
numbers
so,
in the
30, he got 30 in the league season. You know, well, I was going to say he got about 32 all in all, so I'm going to get that.
39 in all competitions.
39, yeah, I knew it was in the 30s, so I would have said I was going to, like, you know, higher than what I thought. There you go, like, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And then the next question is, between which years was Arsene Wenger the Arsenal manager? So when did he take over and when did he leave?
Well, he took over in 1995.
96, yeah.
96, 95, 96, yeah, 96, no, 96, 97, wasn't it? Yeah, so, and then
yeah.
96, 97. So he took him for 96, it would have been, well, it's 5 years from now then, isn't it? Working it out.
It feels a lot longer than it's actually been, I think.
Is it 2016?
No, 2018. That's what I mean. It feels a lot longer than it's actually been.
Really?
I thought that as well. Yeah.
So it's only 3 years.
Yeah, because remember it was the semi-final of the Europa League, I think.
Well, that just shows you how hard it's been being an Arsenal fan for.
Yeah, feels like forever.
I would have thought. Well, I'm shocked by that. I'm shocked.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Yeah, I assume that's right. That's what Google told me.
Yeah, no. I'd go along with that, like, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah. So 3 years.
I'm shocked. He's only been 3 years.
What makes it town? Arteta's coming into his second full season, and then Emery 1 year. Makes sense.
1 year with
Emery,
yeah. You Emery, yeah. So you're right, yeah. That shocked me. That is, you know what I mean?
Not long, is it?
No, it ain't as long. You know what I mean? So they were the days. They were the days.
Yeah, they were top 4 days. Yeah. Okay, so the next question is, so in 1993, Arsenal became the first team to win the FA Cup and League Cup double. Who did they beat in both finals?
Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, you know that one. Yeah. Okay, then the next question, final question of this. So could you give us your all-time Arsenal five-a-side team?
Oh, harsh. Seaman in goal would have to be there.
Yeah.
You got to have Vieira, Henry, and it Bergkamp.
Yeah.
So there's one more.
Defender. Adams.
Got to be in it.
Yeah.
It's got to be Tony Adams, isn't it? Like, you know what I mean?
It's basically the invincible team.
It'd have to be. Yeah, it wasn't in the team, funny enough, but probably are. Do you know what? Of all the players that I've met, he was the most nervous one that I was to meet.
Yeah.
When I was
really,
yeah, you know what I mean. Like he was very, I was very, very, I would say like a little bit of intimidated by it. You know, I'm going to meet Tony Adams. Going to meet. Do you know what?
One of your heroes, yeah.
The second that I met him put me at ease straight away, and a nice guy. Wow. But yeah, I was probably the most nervous of all the Arsenal players that I've met. Was him. Yeah, to be fair.
Yeah, no.
And I think that's because of who he was and what he'd done for Arsenal. Just an immense player, like, yeah. So.
Yeah, I think it's one of those as well. You don't want to be disappointed by meeting your heroes. You want them to live up to how you perceive them.
You know what? I've never been disappointed with one Arsenal player that I've met, and I think all the ones that have all been brought up. Do you know what? And I think it's the way that they've been brought up through Arsenal.
Yeah, culture.
There's such a. They've all been really, really friendly, nice. Yeah, I've not gone and met one Arsenal player and thought, oh, I don't like him or whatever. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've all been humble. I'll tell you a great story. This is how humble they are. I was when that thing with David O'Leary. They was auctioning a table for him for this charity thing, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he turned around and goes, I hate this. He goes, you know, what happens if no one puts a bid in and all that? Like? And I said, what are you on about? No one's going to put a bid in. I said, you're Arsenal's record, you know, appearance holder. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, this is going to go, mad. Don't worry about it. What are you worried about? Like, you know, trust me. And it, you know, it went for about £3,000 and he was relieved. relieved in it, and I said, like, you know, and I said, soldier, so, you know, I mean, and I looked at him and thought, well, you know, he could be really cocky or whatever about it, but he wasn't humble about it.
That's great. Yeah.
He was worried about. He said, I wish I wasn't here for this, so that I, you know, because he was worried that no one was going to vote for it, you know, pay for it, like, do you know what I mean, like, and you know, and I thought that was unbelievable, really, because you know, he is Arsenal's record.
Yeah.
And he was still worried about that, like, do you know what I mean? So, and they're all just, you know, I don't know so much about now because it's gone completely over the board, I think, with whatever, like, you know, but the era that I sort of grow up in and the players and all that, they're very, very, they're just like me and you, and it's just been fortunate. You know, Kevin says that I'm just fortunate I was good enough to play professional football.
True,
and and they're all very, very real nice guys, I've got to say, like, you know, and it's been a privilege to meet them. Like,
that's what would have helped them, isn't it? That humble mentality, kept their feet on the ground, meant that they could reach the top, isn't it?
Exactly, like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, I think there is a little bit of that, like, you know, like someone like, you know, like Ian Wright and Kevin, they come from, you know, Brixton and like Brockley, you know, like council estates and things like that to go to where they are. So they've still got that humble upbringing in them, not to take things for granted. And great experience. That's that. I think I'm going to go. Like, that's one of the greatest things. It is. Do you know what the greatest? I think that's one of the greatest things. Like, you know what I mean? You get to meet these guys and they know who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, that's what a gift that is. You know what I mean? Of following them around all these times, and then all of a sudden now they know who actually you are. Like, do you know what I mean? And listen, I've got a great relationship with Kevin. We're like very, very close. But he was, you know, believe it or not, he reached out to me. So
Really?
So,
wow.
You know what I mean? Like, and it went from there. So that just shows you how unbelievable it is, you know. And you know, like we hang out together now, like, you know what I mean? I don't actually like hang out with him now, thinking, oh, he's an excellent player, like, you know what I mean? It's like he's just made Kevin now, like, it's a real weird thing. But at first, you know, oh wow, Arsenal player, but you know, it is and so humble that a lot of them are like that, you know what I mean? That you know, and so it's a good. I think it's a great. That's one of the best things to have, like, you know, one of the best things.
Yeah. You got that All or Nothing documentary going to be coming out as well, to kind of see the behind the scenes as well.
Should play Nothing and Nothing, really. I don't know about the All. I don't know where that's going to come from, like, you know what I mean? So I'm not
just nothing.
You know what I mean? That ain't going to be good.
Do you think any of the AFTV lot will be involved in it? Have you heard anything yet?
We've not heard nothing. I can't see us being involved in that, if I'll be honest. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, if they want the viewers, then a lot of people would tune in.
You know what I mean? Like, exactly. You know what I mean? So I can't see it happening. But if they was to ask me to go on it, I suppose I would. Like, you know.
Yeah, you have to.
I can't see that happening. Like, you know, it's probably more behind the scenes and all that. Like, I'm you know. And they say that things like, you know, don't embarrass Arsenal. If Arsenal don't do too well, you can imagine that that all the Spurs fans will be jumping.
And it's going to be similar to the Spurs documentary.
Everybody be jumping on it, like, if Arsenal ain't doing too well, and so it's a difficult one. That'll be like what will be whether it be a good thing or a bad thing. Like, so,
they can't blame AFTV anymore. No. No, okay. No, it's been greatly. We just got one final segment, rapid fire questions. So we'll go through that, and that'll take us to the end. So, Zahra, do you want to have the honors of doing that?
So just like tell me the answer as fast as you can.
Okay.
Okay. So best Arsenal memory.
Beating Spurs in 1987 semi-final at White Hart Lane.
Funniest person at AFTV or any other fan channel?
Funniest? Ty.
Who is the easiest to wind up at AFTV?
DT.
Yeah.
Describe AFTV in 3 words.
Oh, big, controversial.
Passionate.
Yeah, passionate. That's a good word. Passionate.
Yeah.
Real.
Real. Now
Yeah.
describe yourself in 3 words.
In how many words?
In 3 words.
Passionate, real. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
If you could meet one person, dead or alive, who would it be?
That you haven't already met.
Well, I've not already met. Telly Savalas.
Interesting.
You don't even know who he is, but like, you know.
No. Who is he?
Google him. Google him.
Okay.
That's what I say. Like, he was an actor back in the day, like, you know what I mean? Bald head, and I quite liked him as growing up as a kid.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check him out.
Yeah. Club or country?
Club.
England winning the World Cup or Arsenal winning the FA Club?
Arsenal winning the FA Cup.
Would you take Arsenal winning the league, but it meant Spurs winning the quadruple the following year?
No, I wouldn't. Outright. No, I certainly wouldn't. No.
Your brother would.
Brother would, yeah. But, like, yeah. The other way round, I'd take it, like, but 100% no. I'd rather us not win that. You know what I mean? Not having them winning anything, like, no. Can't have that.
Okay. The final question is: where are Arsenal finishing in the league next season?
As we stand at the moment, 8th.
Yeah.
At this moment, last season. 8th. But if they make some signings, it could be a bit higher. But at this moment in time, no, we're going to stay to where we are, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, Lee, it's been such a pleasure having you on. Really.
I've really enjoyed it. Thank you. I've really enjoyed it. It's been really good. Like, been fun.
Yeah, it has, and yeah, I feel like we've really got to know you and your personality as well. So thanks for sharing that and being yourself.
Yeah, no problems. I enjoyed that. Sometimes it's nice to talk about football, but it's nice to talk about the other things as well. Like, you know, so
yeah,
enjoyed it.
Yeah. So thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you again same time next week. So we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.